There was a study by National Geographic about 40 or 50 years ago where they put a guy underground, and the cave that he was in, the lights would go on when his body awoke. It would go off when he went to sleep. And they found that we need about 11 hours of sleep, and then we're awake for 22, versus the workday goes according to the sun. And then we screw around it with daylight savings and all the rest of this nonsense. We don't change our clock. And what's interesting for me, I'm closer to the equator, and so my days and nights are pretty much the same length. I grew up in Montreal, where in the wintertime, where let's go crazy, I was born in Alberta, and in Edmonton, when my daughter's going to school, she'd go to school in the dark, she'd come home in the dark and be like living like a mole.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of dangerous when she was in kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2 type of thing. So my wife would walk to the bus pickup just to make sure she got there.
Yeah.
And I used to look out my window there, and we had 6 hours of sunshine in the wintertime. So we're all screwed up in how we do things. So I'm interested in how I love that 15-minute break. I think that's how do people get in touch with you if they want to do such a thing?
Well, our website's the best thing to do. Laugh.Events. That's the name of the company. It's also the website. Try to make it easy for everybody. But yeah, that's it. And we have companies do these laugh breaks. And, it's another thing. A lot of companies come to us and they're like, we want to do this big celebration. We just had this crazy quarter, or we just had this crazy month. We just pushed a product, or we just did this accomplishment. We want to do like an hour-long event. And I'm always like, that's great. I'm happy with doing an hour-long event, whatever you want to do. But I always recommend, like, let's take that budget and spread it out into like a bunch of these 15-minute breaks. And a lot of people think like longer is better. And there was a point where actually I wouldn't let people do more than 30-minute events, because it's like, these are people's attention spans. But I also just found that like 15 minutes is this perfect, like, I'm going to be focused. I'm going to be enjoying myself. And a lot of folks want to say, let's use all of the budget now. Longer is better. Let's have a comedian go for a longer period of time. And I'm always for, hey, it's the same price if you just spread it out and give people a gift, every quarter or every month, whatever is better. It doesn't change how we do business. We just think it's delivering a way better product.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a behavioral scientist who teaches at Harvard. His name is Nir Eyal. He's an Israeli, and he wrote a book called Indistractable. Maybe 10 years, I don't know, something like 10 years ago. And I changed how I work based on input from that book. I've been a maniac to-do list guy.
Yeah.
And he said, kill that. Deal with blocks of time. With the to-do list, you put stress on yourself. You got to get this done. You got to get it done. And that also degrades your capacity. So it's been imagine that, 75 years and somebody's teaching me something new on how to conduct myself.
Yeah.
And I think these things, they're very valuable. We're in a high stress world, Kevin, as you know. Technology is changing so quickly.